We are very fortunate to have him this afternoon. He is the head of Physical Education Department and Co-Scholastic Department at Credence High School, Dubai. A United Arab Emirates Teachers Licensing System Pedagogy Passer. A Google Certified Educator Level 1 and an Amazing Teacher Awardee. Let us meet Mr. Nikat Obsuna.
Aussie. So there you have it. All right. So I will be also requesting the admin if you could make me the co-host so I can share my screen with everybody, please. So yes, my topic for today is all about how to organize a virtual competition. Actually, Dr. G. Wilson and Dr. Manai had already mentioned about the clamor and the premise that we are all facing, or we are still facing right now because of the pandemic. We became limited in conducting this kind of competition. Everything becomes virtual. Everything has put into digital world, which I could safely say that we PE teachers are not used to it. Hindi naman tayo familiar sa paggamit ng iba't ibang mga digital platforms. More so, I could safely say na since pandemic started, we PE teacher become tech savvy. We immediately, find any means, any webinar that we can pitch in just to skill up our competencies and knowledge about digital world. So I think that's the best clamor, and that's, I think, the best premise that we really need to address. Luckily, towards the end of 2020, I have conducted this virtual competition, and it happened only school wide. As soon as I found out that okay, this is really doable, why not I bring it into inter-school competition? So after bringing it into school competition, I also has spoken about this into different platform. And today again, I will be speaking about virtual competition, and I am really really grateful for that. Sana meron kayong matutunan sa akin for today. So let's get it on. All right. So first of all, so this would be the topics and the if I'm going to put everything into context. So I'm just summarizing it into 3 points. So today we will be trying to describe how virtual competition more likely looks like. Titingnan natin yung ano ba yung tinatawag na virtual competition in today's world, diba? Well, I know we PE teacher, we are very much familiar with the sport competition in our own locality. We are familiar on how to conduct competition, in face-to-face system. Kaya nating mag-pull out ng isang ng district competition in sports. We can even, pitch in any higher level of competition, say palarong pambansa, 'di ba? So we are all familiar with that. But then again, because of the situation that we are facing right now, we need to put everything into virtual. Okay, so I am going to describe to you how virtual competition most likely looks like. But also, given the premise na ayun nga, parehas lang naman siya ng sports management, 'di ba? So what differs this face-to-face sports tournament sa virtual competition? Siguro, not siguro, but I'm pretty sure 100%, we just have to tweak a little bit. We have to do a little bit of innovation. Tapos lagyan lang natin siya ng konting fine-tune pagdating sa mga parameters and guideline, and of course, proper selection ng digital platform. Wag po kayo mag-alala. I'm just going to try my best to deliver all this kind of information and practical tips sa inyo sa pinakamabilis na paraan. Second would be, we will try to enumerate how to plan or organize, and we will try to elicit what are the nuts and bolts, diba? What are the things that we need to consider, from up and beyond. Okay, so pag sinabing nuts and bolts. I do remember, we have our school consultant here. He's an Englishman. His name is Dr. John Brown. And whenever we are having KHD inspection, I mean, KHD here is the governing body for education here in Dubai. So whenever we are having school inspection, he always spend his time a month before here to talking to all the HOD in the school, and giving us some tips and all. So he clearly told us that whenever you are planning for your department, you have to put all your energy into planning. Having said that, if we also going to apply the same principle here in organizing virtual competition, it is best when we put our 90% of our full energy into planning. Have something end in our mind. When we say have something end in our mind, we have to have this kind of paradigm in our mind that, okay, so this is what's going to happen. If you're just going to put everything into writing and make some notes, the outcome would likely be the way you wanted it, the way you planned it. So also, I'm just going to take you through to the paradigm, and we will make a big shift, okay, a paradigm shift as to how to plan, how to put our 90% of our energy into planning, okay, in order for us to have a successful virtual competition. Sorry po, okay lang po ba yung facing ng ano ko? If I may cut, I'm really sorry. Okay lang po yung facing ng discussion ko? Am I getting too fast? Am I getting okay? If thank you po sa if you can please give me what's that? A reaction, how do I say this? Reaction icon po. Okay lang po yung pacing. Just let me know po kung medyo mabilis po ako magsalita o kinakabahan din. O sige po. If I may continue. All right? So the third, excuse me. The third point that I will be sharing with you are the practical tips on conducting a virtual competition. And I think this is the highlights of today's event. All right. We all are here just to understand what are those tips and what are those experience way of doing this, way of organizing this. And I will be very much willing to extend all the kind of help that I will be telling all with you. Okay, so ito po yung tatlong pag-uusapan natin. Let's get it on. Ayun. So, bago ko po i-continue yung aking talk, ito po yung mabilis lang na clip. It will take less than 2 minutes. So, ito po yung aming intramural. So, okay, I'm just going to show you how our inter-school competition, I'm sorry, not inter-school, inter-house competition. Sa Pilipinas, ang tawag dito is intramurals. So, ito po yung looking at a glance. So, para na magka-idea kayo, then we will start discussing from this. Announcing the result for the 2020 Inter-House Virtual Olympics. I'm very delighted for this afternoon with all the house masters and deputy house masters. Let me quickly introduce to you who are the house masters and deputy house masters for every house. We have Mr. Jade, who is the deputy house masters for the Maple House. We have Mr. Delibasar, who is the house masters for Willow House. Ms. Sonia is our house masters for Pine House, and Ms. Julevi is our deputy house master for the Oak House. So I'm going to be announcing, first is the fourth placer who got the lowest score until to the top. Yes, our fourth place who got the total of 5,753 is Maple House. In third place, who got 5,865 points, it's Willow House. Of course, if I announce who is the second place, definitely the one remaining will be the champion for this year's virtual inter-house competition. Our second placer, who got 5,938, is Pine House. This year's champion, who got 6,414, is the Oak House. Alright, so there you have it. So lahat po nung nakita natin dun sa video na pinakita ko po sa inyo, yung variety and selection of all the events, kita natin marami silang mga fitness-based kind of event. They have also some sports-based event. We will be all discussing it in details and in depth a little later. Also, if you happen to notice, we have also speaking about house points. We are also speaking about medals and rewards. We will be all talking about that later on. Next. All right. Well, this is College Time. College Time is one of the leading broadsheet digital and print here in the Gulf, particularly in UAE. And I could say proudly that my school, on behalf of myself, is the ever first who conducted this inter-school competition, this virtual school competition across UAE. Okay, so there are total of 267 students from 16 different school in UAE, and we are really from Abu Dhabi, from Ajman, from Sharjah, and from Dubai of different state here, and we are the first one who conducted this virtual competition, inter-school on that level. Okay, of course, after naming mag-conduct noon, nagkaroon na ng marami, we have our succession. So other private schools and government school here, they also conducted their own kind of virtual Olympics. And if I may mention, there was also an event happened in the De La Salle Subel, which I think they name it the Olympics, under Coach JR of OneFizEd.ph. And yeah, so nakita natin yung succession, nakita natin yung impact. And my really goal for today is, after this webinar, you all will be able, kayong 85 na attendees, or at least large majority of the attendees for today, will be able to at least have some good takeout. Sana makuha din ninyo yung mga practical tip at saka ano may mga dapat i-consider in organizing this virtual Olympics. Alright, so ito na po yung ating practical details. You may jot down notes, pwede nyo rin po siyang picturean. Let's get started. When you are planning your virtual competition, the first thing that you need to do is to select a title and, put an objective. We have to correct. Mr. Owasif, if you may please turn off your microphone. Thank you. All right. So the first thing that we need to have is about title and objective. Do remember that whenever we are planning a title or objective, so these are the things that we have to keep in mind. Number one, we have to identify if what is the function for. If this is school-wide, well, pag sinabi nating school-wide, parang intramurals lang ba siya? Will it be interclass? Will it be intergrade? Or will it be interhouse? So those who are following house system like my school, we are following interhouse system. So we have to identify what is the function for. Okay. Say for example, most commonly, most of the answer will say, yeah, this is for intramurals. So after identifying, kasi we have different set of requirements. If it is school-wide, merong certain requirement which I'm going to detail little later. Kapag naman inter-school naman siya, pag inter-school naman siya, medyo yung requirements na kailangan natin at saka mga manpower is medyo higher end, di ba? Pag naman siya division and regional, so the more na nagiging prestigious yung competition or yung function, the more the requirement is getting higher and higher. Okay? Let me just tell you pala, ito pong webinar na sinasabi natin ngayon is not one size fits all. Ulitin ko lang po yon. This is not one size fits all because we have different situation. Pwedeng sa school mo, you have everyday PE, pero sa iba, they are only having one PE class per week katulad namin. Yung iba naman, meron sila 2 times PE class lang naman, di ba? Isa pa sa nagpapa-vary, isa pa sa nagso-support ng not one size fits all, puwedeng puwedeng yung school mo is able mag-provide ng implements, ng mga resources. Puwede yung iba, they're having difficult time in purchasing yung mga implements, 'di ba? Isa pa sa mga nag-a-underpin ng not one size fits all, puwedeng yung iba supported sila ng administration, puwedeng hindi. So iba-iba talaga tayo. We are on the same storm, but we are on a different boat, 'di ba? So I just want you to realize that whatever thing that I'll be telling are all generic specific. Okay? I will try to address all the concern in a very general, okay, general form, so that magkaroon kayo ng idea and you will be able to adopt one day kung ano man yung natutunan yung learnings from here. Again, this webinar is not one size fits all. Going back to practical details, after identifying kung ano ba yung function for, if it is interclass, intergrade, interschool, because that conforms the requirements needed. Requirements when it comes to manpower, especially yung referee. Diba? So mamaya i-detail pa natin siya ng medyo deeper. When we are writing our objective, this is really, really, really important. Well, if I am going to put it into context, 'di ba alam naman natin yung SMART goal whenever we are writing our daily lesson plan, okay? Alam na natin yan, noted. Because we teacher, we speak the same language. But apart from the principle of writing a SMART goal, this objective also serves us whenever we are writing circulars, whenever we are writing for reports, whenever we are writing say advertising materials, yung mga those language that we will going to put in these objectives, dun ipuput din natin sila sa circular. Ano ba yung circular? For example, if our objectives are, tuturuan ko kayo ng tatlong objectives, okay? Just to promote fitness, it could be one. Two would be to have fun. Three would be to appreciate, okay, something to do with affective domain, okay, to appreciate that virtual competition is important in these days, okay? So having these three objectives on your hand, you can transpire this principle from writing this objective here in your program plan into the circular that you're going to disseminate to everywhere else. Whenever also you are writing a report, you can write down this. Okay, kasi ganun yung ginawa namin eh. So from writing it in our platform, meron kaming nag-create din ako ng mini website which I am going to share later. Nandun lahat ng sasabihin ko dito sa practical details. They're all in a website. So whenever whatever goals that I have written on our program here are also the same goals, the same exact language that I have written on our reports, on our circular, and as well as on our documentation. The next thing that we need to secure is the rules and guidelines. In establishing school rules or virtual competition rules and guidelines, you have to remember the word robust. You have to make your guideline as robust, comprehensive, detailed as possible. You have also to consider the word flexible. Your rules and guidelines should be flexible enough because these days we are very prone to what we call technical glitches. Since we are working virtually and we will be needing an internet to make it, functional, we have to keep in mind that at some point there would be a technical glitches. Halimbawa, merong isang athlete na na-delay yung kanyang performance. So what is the rule says? 'Di ba? Hindi mo siya you cannot afford to default him or her, the athlete, okay? Just because hindi comprehensive, hindi ma-solid yung guidelines mo. Halimbawa, nagpa-long jump ka sa bata, okay? So clearly na kailangan mo ng nakalagay dun, it's clearly stated in your rules and guideline na whenever you're doing this event, so these are the to-dos. You have to have your camera phone with you. So for the video shoot, you have to upload it, make sure that the camera is pan on the tissue because you will be needing a tissue in doing the long jump and all. So you have your guidelines. Now, what if while on the exact performance show, the internet glitches. What if, 'di ba, nag-shutdown yung internet, okay? As the committee, what are you going to do? What kind of judgment are you going to impose, 'di ba? So what this rules and guideline is trying to tell us is we have to make as comprehensive, a solid one, yeah? Also tailor fit kasi most of the how can I say, most of the competitions, they are using very, very in-depth, very flowery, okay, na mga words, very technical words, okay, without them realizing na itong guidelines na to is not for the teachers, this is for the students, especially if you are planning to have an intramurals, di ba? So, halimbawa yung push up, okay? We all know that what are the skills that we're trying to develop in doing such push up, okay? We're trying to develop the upper arm muscles, we're trying to develop the endurance and the strength of that. So, dun sa guidelines, dahil si teacher, I'm not saying, and I'm not pinpointing to anybody, but I'm just saying again in a generic specific, sinabi ni teacher dun sa guidelines, the teacher is talking about agility, okay? Apart from this improvement of upper extremity muscles, apart from the improvement of this strength and endurance on the bicep and all, si teacher naglagay pa doon para mas maganda yung guidance, kunwari na about the flexibility, being able to move to different direction quickly, o kaya magsasalta siya ng power just to make this guideline sounding, or appealing to anybody na, oh, ang ganda naman ng guidelines niya. Pero hindi, it doesn't serve the purpose, it forfeits the purpose, okay? So kailangan tailor fit sa bata. And how are we going to make it tailor fit sa bata? By making a very child-friendly language. Kapag gagawa po kayo ng mga guidelines and rule, dapat yung maa-attain ng bata. Dapat medyo kailangan ma-reach out ng bata because we are making this for our students, okay? Nandiyan pa po kayo? Osi, Osi, Osi? Tingnan natin baka tulog na. Yes, thank you. Yes, meron pa akong kausap. Yes. Oy, oy, oy. Thank you very much. Okay, so next. The third thing that we need to consider is the groupings of the students o yung pagti-team, di ba? Again, this is not one size fits all. Nung nagtuturo pa ako sa Pilipinas, kasi I was teaching in DepEd Bulacan, nagtuturo ako doon ng high school before when I was teaching high school students. Ang grouping ng student namin doon is yung freshman, sophomore, junior and senior, 'di ba? Per curriculum. Tawag namin doon per curriculum, grade 7, grade 8 and all. I'm not really sure kung papaano nyo ginugrupo yung mga student nyo. If you are grouping it, mix, or if you are following house system, katulad namin dito sa Dubai, meron kaming house system rules kung saan yung parang sa Harry Potter, 'di ba? Parang meron silang mga house kung saan sila belong, yung Gryffindor, Hufflepuff. Hindi ako masyadong fan ng Harry Potter, but then again, most of the British school and most of the British influenced school, meron silang mga house system that they do follow. So whenever we are organizing this virtual competition, it is a must to categorize our student according to their age, because the event conforms the age and the grouping of the students. Again, if we are planning an event na mamaya pag-uusapan natin, yung event isa po siya sa mga bilog. When we are planning an event, dapat nagko-conform siya sa grouping ng students. Halimbawa, yung ginrupo ko sa mga bata, I have my primary students, and I have my middle school students, and I have my secondary students. The event that are designed for the primary students are different from the others. So, kung yung primary student, yung event dito, dapat yung criterion and winning criteria at saka yung event per se ay attainable sa bata. Example, we'll say push up. If you wanted to define how to make a gold points or a gold medal in push-up competition, okay, in push-up competition amongst primary student, you will not say, yung criterion mo na, okay, in order for you to get a gold, you have to do 100 push-up in 30 seconds. A secondary student can do that actually, but the primary one, thinking about grade 2, grade 3 students, they don't. So this is the absolute essence as to why we need to understand the student groupings, because again, it conforms to the event and the criteria that we will be planning. Okay? Wag po kayong mag-alala, mamaya po ipapakita ko po on flesh yung website po na pinakita ko. Sorry, na ginawa ko. So, okay, so understanding and making some groupings of the students. Ito na po yung events. So kanina nung nakita nyo dun sa preview na video, if you happen to notice the video, it has a variation of different event. Meron kayong nakita parang nag-spoon and lemon race. Meron kayong nakita naglo-long jump. Tapos may nakita kayo kanina na nagba-bottle flip. It's because I categorize my event into 3 different base form, okay? I have designed events that are sport-based. We all know what are these sports-based. So these are the event that are trying to hone the sports skills, 'di ba? Yun yung mga coordination skills, 'di ba? Yung those skills that requires to playing sports. So may nakita tayo kanina yung bottle flipping. This is a very good high-end coordination and dexterity of hand. So, nag-design tayo ng 5 different sports-based na event. Nag-design din tayo ng 5 fitness-driven na activity or na fitness-driven na event. One is the push-up. I kept on saying about push-up, di ba? So, may nakita kayo kanina, may naka-plank doon, tapos he's trying to put on a t-shirt while doing the plank. So that is a very good example also of one of the fitness-driven event na ginawa namin without the student realizing na, oh, nagpa-plank pala ako, di ba? So mga fitness activity. Mostly yung mga skills that we're trying to develop here are the health-related skills. And of course, this is not should be left behind, yung fun. The fun element should be always there. Dapat laging parehas na nandyan. And this is something that our students are really looking forward. Dapat may fun event, di ba? So kaya nag-invent tayo ng mga spoon and lemon race, nag-push tayo ng mga sack race kasi dapat may element of fun. Okay? So mamaya mas pag-uusapan pa natin po yung event pag nandun na tayo sa website. Tally points. When we are talking about tally points, we're talking about the scoreboard. Since this is going virtual, when you are planning and organizing this one, the very basic that you need to consider is how am I going to put up a big tally board?
It's 12 o'clock.
Okay. How am I going to put up a big tally board? A tally board that everybody will be getting an access. Dapat lahat ng bata kaya nilang i-access yung tally board anytime, anywhere. Because since you are running a virtual competition, students are very keen to know what is the running points. Diba? Say, for example, you are having intramurals and you're going to put it in a week-long program. So dapat everyday there's an update. And students, alam natin, na they are really not only keen, talagang barugan in our jargon sa Pilipinas, mga barugan talagang ano sila, barugan sila sa mga points, 'di ba? They wanted to know hours from hours kung ano na ba yung mga updated points, 'di ba? How are we able to make a tally board which is up there? There's a platform where it is accessible to the students. It keeps getting updated every time, every day, and it's easy to understand. Okay? Because we all know that tally board is not just a tally board or a scoreboard. This is also one way of getting more motivation to the students. This is also one way of developing students' goal setting skills. This is also one way of students uplifting spirit of competition. Ang dami nating pwedeng i-incorporate when we're talking about tally point. It's not just only a score points, okay? This is also one way of doing self-assessment, di ba? So at least kung nakikita nila na, okay, our team is winning, maybe our team is less or say weaker than the other team, di ba? Nagkakaroon sila ng kanilang self-assessment, which is really good pag nagkakaroon ka ng deeper understanding onto your oneself, di ba? So, maraming pwedeng maging effective domains when we are trying to put this tally point. But do remember, whenever we are making this tally point, we have to use a very basic one. Okay, I suggest gumamit lang po kayo ng Google Suites. Okay, maraming mga Google Suites dyan. Nandiyan yung Google Documents, nandiyan yung Google Excel. So, ang ginamit ko nun is yung Google Excel. Ilagay nyo lang lahat dun yung pangalan, Google Excel, bigyan nyo yung student nyo ng access. For sure naman, lahat kayo, you have all an access sa mga bata. Ilagay nyo lang yung kanilang email address, just give them the link and just tell them anytime, any day, any time of the day, from your mobile phone, from your laptop, you can do access it. And by having such, magkakaroon nga tayo ng upliftment nga ng virtual competitions. The other thing that we need to secure is the matrix, yung tinatawag nating winning criteria. Okay? Kailangan well-defined. Kung yung rules and guidelines natin is, sabi natin, comprehensive, dapat ganun din yung matrix. Di ba? Say, halimbawa, nagkaroon tayo ng technical difficulties. What does the rule says? And after that, magko-conform yan sa ano yung sinasabi ng weight ng matrix. Does this performance deserve a gold points or silver points, 'di ba? And how much when we say gold points, how much we are giving away, how much point we are giving away
Ay,
if
hinaan mo rin yung seminar ako.
okay? How much points we are giving away kapag may gold points, 'di ba? We need to define. Ulitin natin teachers, we need to define po. Tayo po yung magde-define. Okay? If we are using house points for every gold performance, ilang points po siya. Sa silver points, ilang points po siya. Ang ginawa ko noon is 10 points for gold medal, 7 points for silver, and 5 points para sa bronze. Okay? Tapos may mga range yon. Halimbawa, again, punta tayo sa push-up. Okay, sa push-up competition. In 25 seconds, okay, in 25 seconds, kapag ang bata nakapag-push up siya ng 10 times or up, gold point siya. So magkakaroon siya ng 10 points, and not only that, these 10 points, he and she will be contributing to his team, okay? His team. So 10 points siya. Tapos yung 10 points na yon pupunta siya dun sa tally board, di ba? Kaya kung nakita nyo kanina dun sa video, we're talking about thousands, okay? Because we are talking about from grade 2 to 11. Okay? Tapos 7 points para sa silver. Ngayon, pag halimbawa, okay, kasi it happened only during my PE class. Pag halimbawa, yung bata failed to comply, failed to submit yung video because we are using another platform called CISO na hindi na natin i-detail. So in order for us to get an evidence na may video sila, we are asking our student to send their video performance sa CISO. Okay? Ngayon, kung hindi po kayo gumagamit ng CISO, pwede po kayong gumamit ng Flipgrid o kaya pwede kayong, pinaka-basic po yung Google document. Mag-create lang po kayo ng folder sa inyong Google Drive, tapos isend nyo po yung link. Sabihin nyo dun sa mga bata na, this is where you're going to upload your video performance. Now, as part of my rule nun, isi-share ko lang, as part of my rule nun, kailangan they have to submit their video performance ng push-up doon nga sa platform that we have provided them for. If a student failed to upload in the given time frame, so meron na siyang delayed, okay? And what does the matrix says when you receive an entry, a video entry from a delayed performance at it? Will it be the same as the normal one? Halimbawa, delayed kong sinubmit yung video ko, but then again, I got gold. Will I be getting 10 points for that? Or will I be getting some sort of demerits or deduction points, diba? So, ang ginawa ko, I have created another matrix for the late submissions. Later po, ipapakita ko po sa inyo. Lahat po yung mga bilog, ipapakita ko po sa inyo maya-maya po. Pag natapos na po siya, ipapakita ko. At pwede ko po siyang i-share po sa inyo for free. I-email nyo lang po ako. Yon. Yun, sinabi natin, well-defined reward system. A matrix or the winning criteria should be well-defined. Now, talking about inter-school. Halimbawa, you're planning to have a inter-school competition. Okay, inter-school competition. Halimbawa, sa university nyo, in-invite mo yung isang neighboring university. So, medyo nakapag-come up kayo ng 5 university, di ba? So, sabi natin kanina, if it is higher regard of competition, definitely the requirements, the credibility, lahat yon medyo magle-level up din, 'di ba? Yung referee lalo na kailangan natin siya. So, kailangan yung matrix natin should be well defined. Balik tayo sa example ng push-up. Okay, if it is inter-school competition, you have to have a credible referee. Kailangan meron kang referee na specifically assigned lang sa ganong event, sa push-up lang. What happens kapag on the day of the performance, okay, or on the live performance itself, nagkaroon ng technical glitches? What does your rule says? What does your matrix says, di ba? So again, we have to go back to our rule and we have to think about flexibility. Again, it has to be well defined, okay? If an athlete, for example, came late, di ba? Alam natin yung face-to-face na competition, yung winning by default. Kasi ako, I was once a volleyball player when growing up. Nakakapaglaro na talaga ako sa Bulacan. So, yung ewan ko if you're familiar, for sure alam nyo rin yon na kapag yung other teams ay na dumating 15 minutes, I mean after the grace period, your team is going to win by default, di ba? So, what does your matrix says kapag late yung athletes, okay? I had an encounter before from Abu Dhabi siya. So, uh, tinext na namin siya. I was really in touch with the coach. I said, Coach, where is your player? You have to send your player na dun sa Zoom link na pinrovide kasi it has been 10 minutes and we are waiting. So I think we need to go. And as far as the rules and guidelines is concerned, it is all included in the guidelines and all. So ayun. So nag-confirm siya doon. All right. Google Form. This is one of the important thing that we need to understand. We have to prepare on how easy we can get data. Alam natin pag sinabing Google Form, gathering data, di ba? So, by creating a very basic, again, kailangan lang lagi tayong basic. Laging basic lang. Wag tayong, this is just my personal tips for everybody. Whenever we are making all of this, we have to think about the CEO of Virgin's Megastore. If you happen to know Richard Branson, he always talks whenever he is having some sort of speakership. He always include this mantra na there is a lot. Okay, if I may paraphrase it, there are a lots of benefits of being simple. Yun. So, maganda na basic lang at saka student friendly. Yung Google Form po na sinasabi natin dito kanina, and this is where the attempt will be coming from. Okay, yung attempt. Yung halimbawa, nagbalik tayo sa long jump. Diba? So, long jump, na-define natin yung matrix na if we will be using a tissue roll, the standard tissue roll size, and you have to do a jump in such a way that you're not going to go from the back. It's from the on the spot jump. All you need to do is just to bend your knees and just one full swing and jump. So yun po yung definition ng jump. Now, according to the matrix, if you will be able to make 10 tissue square and up, you will be getting a gold points. If you will be getting 6 tissue square, alam niyo po yung tissue roll, di ba? Naka-tissue square po siya. So nakalatag po siyang ganon. So, from one end, nandun si player, and the other end, nandoon siya. So, from one, parang nakita nyo rin po ata dun sa video, pag tumalon siya, from the back of his foot, we will be cutting it from there, and we will be counting the number of tissue square. Ngayon, naka-define si Silver na from 6 square up to 9 square, and bronze will follow. Ngayon, kapag si athlete mo, naka-silver siya, halimbawa, naka-7 yung tissue square niya, how this player will going to take it forward, how this performance will get recorded. One would be the video. The athlete has to upload it on the given platform. That could be one. The second is the student or the athlete has to go to the Google Form link na papakita natin mamaya. Of course, lahat po ito ipapakita natin mamaya. Google Form link, type in the name, type in the class, type in the team that the athlete belongs, then type in the result. If it is gold, then submit. Ganun lang ka-easy. We have to limit it, we have to limit it into as basic as possible. Next. Yeah. Instructional video is really advisable, okay? Instructional video, this is something to do whenever you are having an event, it is advisable that you do perform it. and show it to the students. Using a platform like YouTube is the best go-to. Okay? Like for example, you are having a jumping rope event. Okay, jumping rope. Say what kind of jumping rope? Will it be basic jump? Will it be skier's jump? Will it be hopscotch jump? So kung halimbawa you wanted to pull through a scissors jump in jumping rope, okay? So, yung bata, paano yung scissors jump? Kung if you're just going to enumerate how to do the scissors jump in words, they will feel lost. They will get lost. Paano daw gawin to? 'Di ba? In between, we need to cross our feet and all. And you have to jump as the rope comes and you have to jump over the rope. They will not really get the context. However, if you just show them how to do it in an instructional video, that would be sensational. Okay. So this is advisable. I'm talking to the experience. So you may use your school platform when it comes to digital. So these are the top points that you must have and practical details in organizing virtual competition. So right now, I am going to take you through to the website which I have created. Again, the website is optional. Bakit ba ako nag-come up sa website? Why did I come up with the website? One, because I would like to have a space where all my students and parents are having a single space where they can navigate and explore everything. Those circles, those points given in here, they will be able to see it at one glance, at one space. Now, if you are not techie savvy, kung hindi po tayo masyadong maalam sa internet, okay lang na hindi nyo po ito gamitin. Again, this is not one size fits all. Okay, pwede nyo pong gamitin lang yung, since kung may mga modular po kayo dito, pwede nyo lang po siyang gumamit po kayo ng Microsoft Words tsaka PowerPoint, okay lang din po yon. But if you think that you are able to make a website where everybody can open it anytime, 'di ba? So yung hindi siya website na website, quote unquote website. Website po siya na very basic. Again, I have used a Google Suite, a Google website at ipapakita ko po siya ngayon na. So this is what I was talking about. So first circle na naalala nyo po yung title. Ang title po ng aming event noon. Again, this is a school-wide base lang. So Credence High School Virtual Inter-House Olympics. I have used also, I have put some hashtag in here so that if in the event that their parents who happens to share their, their students' performance online, they'll be able to use hashtag and we will be able to connect. Kasi it's the parents who's really feeling proud of themselves. I mean, for their offspring. So talagang napaproud sila. So we encourage them to use the official hashtag for the event. So this is the objective that I was talking about. See, provide fun-based, fitness-based, and skill-based physical activities that are challenge-driven, fun and safe, promote individual challenges, goal setting. So this talks about cognitive, this talks about affective, okay? And this also talks about affective to foster, okay, to promote. Because nung time namin, it was sometime in October, September, October. Nung time na yun, kaputukan ng pandemic. So talagang as part of the well-being team and coordinator in our school, so we really have to have this kind of avenue where we can really express and battle off the mental stress that we are having. So ayan yung ginawa natin. Again, pwede nyo po itong i-adapt, okay? Kung gusto nyo po, i-share ko po sa inyo, pwede nyo po itong i-adapt kung ano po yung requirements ng school po ninyo. These are the guidelines that I was mentioning a while ago. All bona fide students from grade 2 to 11 of Credence High are only entitled to participate. All the events of categories are divided into fun-based, fitness-based, skill-based. Sandali. Visible po ba? Takihan natin. Yun. Yeah. So, ayan po yung guidelines. Yung pong guidelines na yan are general guidelines. Okay? And I made it comprehensive so that and also student-friendly. So, gumamit tayo ng mga words na that students can understand. Okay? Yung mga words na medyo highfalutin para sa student natin, say for example, adversely, yon medyo hindi ma-process ng mga estudyante ko yon eh. I mean, without sounding cynical po hindi ko naman dinedegrade yung mga estudyante ko. But then again, meron lang silang certain limitation ng understanding din. Okay? So, kailangan gumamit tayo dito ng student-friendly na words. Okay? Ito yung sabi natin, all student must wear their school PE uniform. Otherwise, they will be getting a 2 points deduction. This conforms with the school's standards when it comes to COVID. In-include ko din siya. Okay, I highlighted the words that are important. All the events must be taken during PE class only kasi nung time na yon, children are getting excited. Next week ang ating event is basketball dribbling. Okay. So ngayon pa lang magte-take na sila ng video, 'di ba? So that doesn't serve the purpose. Okay. Ito yung sinasabi natin kaninang late registration matrix. If for example, an athlete submitted their video performance late. So what does the matrix says about it, 'di ba? So meron tayong matrix. Papakita ko na siya ngayon. Okay, so 3 points deduction also. Ayan, nandiyan po naka-well-defined po lahat ng guidelines dito. Again, these are all general guidelines. So you must be wondering, where are the technical guidelines? For example, if we will be having a high jump event, nasaan yung guidelines for that specific event? Yung tinatawag na po nating technical guidelines. Nasa kabilang page po yon. Mamaya papakita natin. Student groupings, ito siya according to the age. Ito po yung house na sinabi po kanina. Ayan. Ito na po yung mga technical guidelines. Pakita natin. As I have been mentioning, I have categorized all the events into 3. I have fun-based activities. Okay, so these are the active. Pag kinlik nyo po yan, nakalink na po siya. Okay, isa sa mga function ng website. Meron din tayong fitness-based. Ano ba pag sinabing fitness-based? Ito po yon. Health components related activities. Yung na-mention natin. Something to do that will develop their cardiovascular, their flexibility and all. Okay, and skill-based. Ito yung sa mga sports-based. Bottle flip, toss, clap, catch, hat trick, notebook, ping pong, and yeah, dito po siya lahat. Next, on third page po ng website natin, nandito po yung schedule and materials. So ilagay niyo na po yung schedule. For example, week 1, ito po yung mga activities na gagawin namin. If you happen to notice po, week 1, meron po kaming fun. We have fun event. We have also one fitness event and one skill event so that there is a variation. Na yung bata, hindi lang sila pinagpapawisan because they are trying to get the gold from skill-related activities. Also, they're also having fun. So lagi every week meron silang fun element, every week meron silang fitness element, tapos meron silang skill element. So I think it's a very good balance kung meron tayong mga ganitong uri ng pagpaplano, okay? Ito po yung mga materials needed. Lahat po ng events binigay na din po natin sa kanila so that they will be able to prepare it ahead of time. Yes. Next. Ito na po yung tally points na sinasabi natin kanina. Sa page 4 po, yung tally point, this always gets updated every single minute. Meron po akong isang staff na talaga namang na nakatutok lang dito sa house points ko. Nandiyan siya. She's watching right now. So, nakatutok lang siya. Sabi ko, you have to always make this updated. Kasi every hour, nagbabago siya, nagpa-fluctuate, di ba? So, eto na po siya.
Tumulog ka ng
I have 4 teams. Ayun. Tapos lagi kong binibigay yung date kung as to when ko siya in-update. Oo. Ayan. May date and time para alam ng bata. Okay? So meron din tayo ditong instruction para at least alam din ng bata. Now, not only tally points meron, nag-introduce din ako ng individual medal tally count. Kasi I feel na yung bata, they are only working for their houses, for their team. So sabi ko, why not bakit hindi ko i-recognize yung kanilang individual effort? So, ang ginawa ko, I have made this individual record. Sa ano lang po yan? Sa Google Excel lang po yan. So, halimbawa, puntahan, ito, grade 7 to. Itong halimbawa, yung student 1, i-zoom natin ng konti. Halimbawa, sa student 1, yung Aditya, sa parachute event niya, he got gold. So, magkakaroon siya dito ng mark na gold. And at the end of the week, okay, at the end of the entire program, bibilangin namin yung gold medal. 'Di ba ganoon naman pag sa Olympics, we are in determining the overall champion in Olympics, in any sports competition, we are only counting the number of medal, the gold medal to be specific. So bibilangin, we were going to count how many gold medal does the student have, then we will have to do the matrix. Okay, ipapakita ko na po sa inyo yung matrix sa rewards. Pagdating po sa rewards, ito po yung matrix. The normal matrix is 10 for gold medal, 7 points for silver and bronze medal. Now, sabi natin kanina, pag may mga late submission, yung kanina na nag-submit siya ng late, so what what matrix does apply to the specific athlete, 'di ba? So magkakaroon lang siya ng 2 points deduction. So the late submission matrix may apply to him. So 3 points for bronze and all, 5 for silver and 8 for golds. Now the last matrix here has something to do with individual gold medal award. So at the end of the event, okay? So if a student got 14 to 15 gold medals in out of 15 events, that player will be getting a gold medal. Okay? Again, depende po sa inyo. If you wanted to deliver a real gold medal for them, okay po yun. Mas matutuwa yung bata. Okay? Katulad ko sa amin, marami kong medals. So, apart from certificate, gold medal certificate, I am also giving away gold medal, the real gold medal from the school. Okay? But then again, alam na we understand the limitation that we do have, a certificate would be pretty fine. Pwede na po tayo sa certificate magbigay. Again, we are only doing this just to recognize the individual effort of the students. Alright? So, yeah, I think pretty much nandun na po siya lahat. Ito, para lang maganda yung website, just so they know who are the captains. Okay, sino yung mga parang captain balls. Okay. Isang tawag, we do call it captains and vice captains. And all of the members are listed here. So parang they will feel na, oh, I'm a really bona fide student of the schools. Okay, so andito po lahat ng pangalan nila. And this is my beautiful team. Ayan. And whenever I am having an announcement to them, dito ko na din po nilalagay. May mga announcement po tayo. Nandyan po lahat. And then, this is the highlight. So, if they wanted just to watch out themselves, yan, nandyan yung highlight. For example, this, okay, ito yung long jump. Siguro play ko lang siya ng mga 10 seconds para lang magkaroon tayo ng idea. Forward ko na po. Yun. So, sa unang video, nakita niyo yung bata ko, nag-double land siya, di ba? So, yun yung very good example kung bakit kailangan natin ng solid na guidelines. If, for example, nag-double landing yung bata, will it be called for another round of performance, second trial, or we will consider it as a coach? Again, depende po sa inyo kung kayo ay lenient. If you are lenient enough to accept na, okay, that would be fine. Let's all record it. Okay lang yon. But then again, if you are working on a very top decision making, especially if you are conducting an interschool, which observe a very high regards pagdating sa competition, you really have to make your rules and guideline as comprehensive as possible. Kailangan po yun. Okay? So pretty much, ito na po yung lahat. Nandito po yung highlights para alam po ng bata kung ano po yung ginawa nila every week, every event. Yeah? Ito naman po yung helpful tips na pwede nating sabihin. One, this is not one size fits all. I have been telling and telling and telling and telling, this is not one size fits all. Pwedeng ikaw, you are working in a school that has number of resources. Maganda yung internet mo, you can pull through it, okay? Pero yung iba modular, paano pag modular yung means ng kanilang instruction? Paano pag distance learning? Paano kapag asynchramatic, diba? Sorry, not asynchramatic. Parang COVID naman pala yun. Asynchronous. Asynchronous learning, di ba? So, paano pag ganon? So, this is not one size fits all. Kaya nga, lagi kong tinasabi, yung tailor fit, kailangan you have to make everything from the title itself, rules and guidelines, matrix, dapat lahat po yun naka-tailor fit sa kung anong merong situation kayo sa school. Second tip is volunteering service. Take senior students on board. O kaya kung meron kayong mga teachers na willing mag-volunteer, okay? mas maganda yung students. Bakit? Because it promote a very good culture in the school, that our school is a student-led kind of school. Okay? Especially sa school namin, malakas kasi kami sa sa volunteering event sa mga school. Yung mga senior, mga high school students ko, pinapa-project ko sa kanila na you have to be an official umpire of the event. Sila yung lahat nagko-conduct. So if for example, meron akong 15 event, I'm going to assign them into one single event na dapat by heart alam nila yung rules and guidelines. Okay? One way din na pag kailangan ng ng students, kasi kapag mga student, especially if we are working on interschool, kapag student volunteer, they will just discipline the student and the coach on the way they wanted it to be disciplined. In other words, kapag mga estudyante, sasabihin kunyari may isang coach na nagdi-dictate dun sa player, 'di ba tayo as teacher mahihiya tayo. We are really feeling reluctant na parang sasawayin ko ba yung coach na yon. Pero kapag yung mga senior student, kaya nilang sawayin niya na sa coach, please keep your mic on mute and let the student do his own performance. Kayang gawin yun ng mga student. Na observe ko siya kasi dito sa amin nung nagpa-interschool ako, yung mga student ko yung gumagalaw. I have given them all the instruction that they needed. Tapos ang ginawa ko noon was sila na yung nag take over ng entire journey. So there was one coach who is very, how can I describe the coach? Very hands-on sa student. So he was making a lot of noise. He was making a lot of drama in the Zoom itself. So my student, with firm and with crisp of voice, my student just say, "Excuse me, coach. Actually, this is not allowed. If you may just turn off your camera. I mean, turn off your camera and turn off your phone. It would be really appreciated." So, ganun ka-firm, ganun ka-direct yung ginawa niya, di ba? Pero kasi tayo, mga teacher, medyo mahihiya pa tayong sawayin yung kapwa teachers natin. So, that would be one of the advantages kapag yung volunteer students yung inano natin. And of course, it talks about leadership. Okay, di ba? Bukod sa may outcome ka na project sa mga bata, it talks about leadership na, yung school na to is a student-led school. So, lahat ng mga program, di ba? Student-led. So, it's a very good reflection sa school. Volunteering event. The third tip that I'm going to say is, make your rules, guidelines, matrix as comprehensive as possible. Na-discuss na natin yun kanina. I don't want to repeat. But then again, yung word na dissemination. When it comes to dissemination, kailangan talaga na properly disseminated sila. Paano mo sasabihin yung rules and guidelines sa coach, 'di ba? You can have a separate Zoom meeting with them, 'di ba? Bago kayo mag-meeting, you can submit them all the guidelines. So, ito po yung mga rules and technical rules, ito po yung mga general rules po ng palaro namin. So, before the meeting started, bigay mo na sa kanila 'yon. Now, if you don't have time to conduct a meeting, ang ginawa ko noon both, nag-conduct ako ng meeting sa mga coaches, and at the same time, I have created a video na kung saan yung video ko is not only instructional but very informative na kailangan nila mag-engage. So, yun yung dissemination. Ito na yung sinasabi nating expert for credibility. Last year nandyan pa po kayo? Ossie?
Yes.
Miss Diane, I will go back to your question little later. Thank you, Miss Jeneline, Miss Robeline, Miss Sir King.
Hindi ako bumili ngayon. Mapunta pa ako sa
Sir
Visoria.
John Michael, if you can please turn off your mic, please. Thank you po. Okay. Now, yung 4 tips ko po na sasabihin sa inyo is yung expert for credibility. So, natapos na kami sa Interhouse. Ngayon po, as I speak, we are working on something that yung sinasabi nating season 2, kailangan may follow-up siya. So this year, what I am planning for the school, for my school and for my department is to conduct a speed kicking competition. Nakuha ko tong idea na to from the Philippine Taekwondo. So nag-conduct sila sometime in December ng speed kicking. Okay? Available po yung YouTube nila, nandun po lahat yon. Puntahan niyo lang po yung Philippine Taekwondo. So halimbawa, speed kicking competition siya, wherein meron ka ng mga parameter, meron ka ng guidelines. So, ang gagawin lang ni athlete, you will ask them to submit their videos. Hindi siya online hindi siya real time. So, isasubmit lang nila yung video nila in advance, say 2-3 weeks advance. Ang magiging real time lang doon is yung grading, yung coach. Ngayon, since gagamit ka ng ganong kind ng discipline sport, taekwondo, may mga technical rules yon na kailangan ng expert. So, kailangan kong mag-outsource ng tao na well-known doon sa taekwondo, di ba? Kasi it comes in two ways. Pwedeng kicking, talking about the number of kick. Yun yung tinatawag nating technical, di ba? So, in 1 minute, ilang kick yung masisipa niya, di ba? But not only that, 60%, okay? 40% is only for the number of kick, but 60% is the aesthetic, okay? How well does this player deliver his speed kicking, di ba? So, turn out, meron pa pala siyang mga arts, di ba, of kicking. That only expert can explain, okay? So, good thing meron kami ditong partner, yung MECA, yung Middle East Karate Association, and they are very well known in Taekwondo. So, we will put them on board. Of course, we have to outsource it. Okay? So, ayun lang. Kung sa tingin ninyo, magkakaroon kayo ng dispute, ng question in the future, that maybe if you're having this competition, maybe one school will try to dispute you, will try to question you na, oh, bakit ang weak naman ng ano nyo, ng guidelines nyo? Bakit ang weak ng practice nyo? Let's say, for example, uh, Surya Namaskar in yoga, okay? If you are putting a yoga competition and the competition is something to do with Surya Namaskar, if we have some Indian friends here, it turned out that Surya Namaskar has its different forms. Hindi lang siya yung 12 cycles na Surya Namaskar, okay? Like it varies according to its origin. Now, if you are not Indian, if you don't understand what is Surya Namaskar, okay, the classic, the Surya Namaskar, and if you're just a simple PE teacher that only relies on YouTube, yung grading mo will become uncredible, okay? Hindi siya magiging inauthentic, di ba? So that's the reason why if you are pulling this one out, might as well kumuha ka. You have to get somebody who is well known in this discipline, in this yoga discipline, di ba? Again, if there is a need for us to get an expert for credibility purposes, gawin natin. And last would be connect to the community. This is very good na katulad ngayon, we are connecting the webinars. You just have to go to webinars. Nung naririnig ko nga previously yung introductory speak nila Dr. Santos na they have yung pandemic, we need to connect, we need to impose this kind of webinars for our PE teachers. I am really feeling deeply happy kasi parang sabi ko, this is what the purpose of, giving back to the community. And just a quick story nung yung initial interaction ko sa IAPES, sabi ko, I just really wanted to give back to the community. And meron din nga kami ditong group sa UAE na mga Filipino teachers na meron kaming WhatsApp group na whenever we are having something that is shareable, we try to share it as much as we can. The reason why we need to connect to the community, it's because we share the same passion, we understand each other, and at the same time, it's easy access. Halimbawa, meron kang basketball unit sa klase mo. But then again, you work smart na, okay, paano ba ako makakapag-basketball? It means to say that I need to prepare instructional videos about dribbling, about passing sa bahay, di ba? Hindi, connect ka lang. Punta ka lang sa Twitter, ang dami na doon, di ba? You just have to use a right hashtag for that, di ba? Pwede mong gamitin PE at home. Ang dami dyan. Kunyari, basketball, PE at home, o kaya PE instruction. You have to go to YouTube, you have to go to Facebook and connect. Connect. Also, yung mga webinars nga na ganito, it will give you a different perspective then. It will widen your horizon in understanding certain topics sa PE. So this is the best thing to do. This is the coolest thing to do whenever we are connecting to our community. Yon. So yan po yung aking 5 experience and helpful tips na sana maging ano sa inyo, maging practical. Oh, meron pa ba? Yeah. So again, I'm gonna be showing you a 2 minutes video. This one is yung na-feature kami dun sa dyaryo. Ito po yun ito na po yung gist, okay, yung summary ng aming inter-school competition. For 2 minutes pa, tingnan natin. Right. So we have reached to the final stretch of this webinar. Yeah. So I am encouraging everybody to type in your questions, and after this I am going to, because now I am at the closing remarks, I'll be having my last 2 minutes of my talk. And if you have some questions and doubt, just now, please put it into the chat box now, and I'm going to read it out and try to address it. Okay. So let's connect. I have a PE group which is not monetized. The main purpose of this PE group is to share. Alam nyo po, ginawa ko po itong PE share ay dahil dun sa mga kapwa kong PE teachers dito sa UAE. Meron nga kaming GC. They keep on asking kung ano ba yung mga pwede nilang ipa-showcase sa bata. Kasi ano rin ako, content creator din ako ng mga PE videos o mga content. I do always create by myself, mga original plan ko po siya. And sometimes nag-a-adapt na lang ako from sa mga sa community ko. So ang ginawa ko, hindi naman kasi siya one size fits all. So uh, I used to create some PE at home ang tawag namin doon. Tawag ko doon is PE at home mga resources. Tapos nilalagay ko siya sa YouTube. Tapos sinishare ko po siya dito sa PE Share. Ito po ay para sa mga nagkakandak ng virtual teaching, mga distance learning po. Very tailor-fit po siya. Tailor-fitting po sa mga bata, tsaka very Filipino in culture. So makikita nyo self-directed po yung video niya. Kung may time po kayo, yun, puntahan niyo po sa Facebook PE Share. Yan, ako po yung admin niyan. Yun. Tapos kung may gusto din kayong i-share na everything about PE lang, yun, ilagay nyo din po dyan, pwedeng-pwede po. So kung nakikita nyo dun sa mga ibang Facebook group, may PE Share na nag-share po from time to time ng kanilang mga PE resources. Ako po yung nag-share na yun. Ako po yung nag-iingay doon. Ayun. So you can connect with me through PE Share on Facebook. What else? Ako din po ay content creator ng PE. So I'm available also sa YouTube. Puntahan niyo lang po yung Obsuna Obsession. Doon sa ano ko po, sa YouTube channel ko po, may mga playlist po siya. Hanapin niyo lang po yung dalawang playlist ng PE at Home. Again, PE at Home. Nandun po lahat ng instructional videos ko po na pwedeng-pwedeng i-share. As a matter of fact, kaka-download ko lang ng kaka-upload ko lang ng virtual, nasa level, anong belt level na ako, anong belt? Blue belt level na ako. So I need to upload some more belt ng karate. Pwede niyo po siyang have a visit, gano'n. Pero wag niyo na puntahan po yung personal vlog kasi medyo personal ko na po yun na vlog. Doon na lang po sa sa teaching vlog at saka sa PE at home. Madami pong mga na videos doon na pwede niyo pong gamitin. Na ginagamit po namin dito. Nag-share lang kami dito ng mga resources. Now, professionally, wag niyo akong hanapin sa Facebook kasi sa Facebook ko puro kalokohan lang ako doon eh. Oo. So, professionally, if you wanted to connect with me, just go to my LinkedIn account. I always, most of the time I used to upload contents dito sa aking LinkedIn. I also write about blogs. Actually kakasulat ko lang ng blog ko about my story, about my entire journey na ipapublish sa Chronicles ng Credence High sa school ko. So in-share ko din po siya dito sa aking LinkedIn. So kung gusto niyo ng professional na connection, nasa LinkedIn po. Sa Twitter po, puntahan niyo lang po yung Credence High School. Yun, ako po yun. Yun. Tas yun na. Wag na sa Facebook kasi sa Facebook puro lang puro lang walang kwenta doon eh. Yun, so there you have it. I am so pleased and so happy to be part of this wonderful journey. Maraming salamat po, Dr. Santos and Miss Glenn, and to the hardworking staff of the Laguna State, lagi po ako na nalilito. Forgive me po. Laguna State Polytechnic University. Maraming salamat po mga for giving me this very, I should say, very great and wonderful opportunity. So puntahan na po natin yung mga questions. Sige. I'll try to answer it. Nandiyan pa po kayo? Ossie. Sir?
There is a question in the chat box asking
Yes.
about how did you create the website that you have shown in your on your presentation?
Yes, sir.
I
Okay.
hope you could share about it. It would be a
Yes, sir.
great help for the participants. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay, the question about am I the one who did the website? Yes po. Original po. Kahit walang patent, na hindi ko alam kung saan ipapapatent siya. Original ko po siyang ginawa. Sabi ko po kanina, naalala niyo po yung shinare ko po, there are lots of benefits for being simple. So ang principle ko po dapat basic lang siya. So ang ginamit ko po, pwede po akong maggamit ng wix.com kung familiar kayo sa wix.com. Pwede din kayong gumamit ng wordpress.com kung familiar kayo, pero mas basic yung Google site. Puntahan niyo lang po Google site. Para lang po siyang Facebook, ganun lang po siya kasimple. You yourself, allow yourself for an hour, sit down and just try to navigate as to how to do it. Insert ka lang ng insert ka lang ng insert, napakadali lang po, kahit wala na pong training. Well, nagkaroon po ako ng training kasi nga I have my Google certification, nag-conduct po ako. Kaya lang may pay po kasi yun, parang $10 po siya sa US. So, ako po kasi isa sa mga requirements namin mga heads dito na kailangan mag-undergo ka ng Google certification. Pero hindi po yung required kasi ano po siya, matagal po siya. I took it for a month. Ang tagal po talaga niya. Parang isang araw I spent at least 3 hours of sitting and watching some modules and answering. Masyado po siyang rigid. So I suggest, punta lang po kayo sa Google site, sorry, Google site, tapos just clean slate, create lang po kayo doon. Tapos para lang po siyang Facebook. Magbabrowse po kayo, how to embed the link. Kunyari, punta po kayo din sa isang gusto nyo po ng basketball video, i-copy paste nyo lang po yung link doon sa YouTube, ilagay nyo lang po doon sa Google site, nandun na po yun. Sobrang dali lang po siya. Wag po kayong mag-alala kung just in case lang naman gusto po ninyo, ibibigay ko po pala yung email ko. Oo nga. Puwede niyo po akong i-contact hpe@credencehighschool.com. hpe@credencehighschool. Ilalagay ko po sa sa chat box. So in the future, in between baka meron kayong mga tanong in the future, something to do with PE, hindi lang tungkol sa how to organize virtual event or competition. If I could be of any help, oo, ibibigay ko po 'yun. Wala po tayong problema. Again, ang aking pong email address ay hpe@credencehighschool.com. Meron po ditong tanong, games or sport will not increase. Basahin ko lang po. For sure, sports or games will not be limited. We can add other games such as 3-minute step up. Yeah, pwede po. Yes, correct po 'yun, Sir Tuazon. Pwede po 'yun. We can always adapt. 'Yun yung sinasabi natin eh. We can adapt kasi hindi naman this is not one size fits all. Meron ka ng basic foundation. What you need to do is just to study what is the school, what is my school condition? What are my students' condition? Okay, ano na ba yung tinuturo ko? Balik tayo sa physical fitness testing sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? Yung physical fitness testing, if I'm not mistaken, ang tagal ko na po kasing wala sa Pilipinas, hindi na ako nakakapagturo no'n eh. So yung mga shuttle run, tama po, shuttle run, long jump. So puwede niyo na po 'yung gawin, oo. You have to start with a baby step. Kung gusto niyo muna sa klase lang muna, parang intergroup, okay. As soon as you're getting comfortable, gawin niyo po siya na interclass. O halimbawa, yung 7A, ilaban niyo po sa 7B. Tapos kung nakukuha niyo na, if you are getting the process and if you are getting more comfortable, pwede niyo na siya na integrate yan. Lumalawak yung mo, yung comfort zone mo. And at the same time, you are getting well versed in using different platform, in using, make power throughing this event, nagiging komportable ka na, 'di ba? So you have to take a baby steps. Pwede po 'yun.
Oy, oy.
OC. 'Yon. Maraming salamat po. Sana may natutunan po kayo.
Ma'am Prudence?
Over to you, Doctor.
Ma'am Prudence?